I'm back. I wanted to show you all templates quickly. Why these have been so helpful. When I talk about curvy nails, you can see this curve from side to side happens. But then also some people can have dome-shaped nails. I have a couple that are, this one's pretty flat, but if your nail tip curves downward towards the end, that's also dome-shaped. Both of these things can create more of that rippling along the edges because you're trying to apply a flat wrap to something that's a curved surface. So what I have found is that if you can create the best stencil possible for the shape of your nail, it really helps the application process go so much faster, sort of like they show in the official video. I know for those of us with curved nails, we're kind of like, that's not realistic. But anyway, I've really found this to help. So these are what I'm going to be showing you how to create. These are my tape templates. They're just stuck on here with washi tape. If you don't know what that is, it's in the craft section, and it's basically just removable paper tape. So it really comes in handy for things like this when you want to pull it off and hold it up to your wraps and be able to stick it back on. So anyway, how did I make this? The tape method. And I know that that's been around Jamberry for a while. I'm going to go ahead and demo it for you guys. You literally take clear tape. The key when doing this is to try to get the tape, good grief, this is sticky, as flat on your nail as possible, because the tape ends up being your template. So another thing, I'm really picky now that I have healthy nails about my nails, so I actually did this with a base coat on just because I don't even want the tape peeling a layer of nail. So that's one thing that if I was doing the whole set, I would recommend just popping a base coat on quickly. It'll be worth it later. Anyway, what you're going to do is you're literally just going to take this piece of tape and start like you would applying a nail wrap. So you always line them up there first and go up the middle, okay, to get it most smooth. And then you're going to want to go out from the bottom to the tip of your nails, from the cuticle to the tip, out each side. And see, I'm really just kind of using that other fingernail to get it nice and as smooth as I can to my nail. This part's key because if you have ripples here, you're going to have ripples in whatever you cut out to apply. So take your time with that part, I would say. And then use a pen. A ballpoint pen will work. I like these Sharpie ones because it's such a nice fine point. I am going to just literally trace, around my nail bed. If you have pushed your cuticles back first, that's kind of also important. I find this really to be easier because you have kind of a nice edge to catch the pin up against there. So anyway, there is my tape template. So I'm going to gently peel this off. And there you can see that is the shape I need. So it may be a little more squared off, I would say, than our nail wraps for this nail. Anyway, that's just going to ensure that for that left ring finger, I have the perfect size wrap. So then what I did is I took it, stuck it on my cardstock. You don't want to stick it down too much here because you want to be able to peel that off. Another thing that I really love for my jams is these curved scissors. These suckers come in the craft or sewing section, and they just have a really nice sharp blade on it. I find them to work a little bit differently than the nail scissors for cutting these thin wraps and things. So invest in a pair of these if you don't have them. I think they're Fiskars brand. Anyway, I'm going to cut around this. Now, when I'm doing this, because we don't want to fear the gap, you're actually going to cut a little bit inside your trace line so that when you go to cut out your wraps and you're cutting around that, it really ends up adjusting and being just the right size. And you can see these scissors cut so precisely. That's just another key thing to having nicely finished nails if you are going to mess with trimming. So I'm trying to cut just inside that line. And like I said, things like this have been a little bit of an investment in time up front, but hey, you can do it watching a movie, your DVR, with a glass of wine. You do it once, you're done, and I promise it is worthwhile in the long run. So anyway, you can get your tape off of there if you're like me, just because you're finicky. I kind of labeled these right hand, left hand, and have them taped in order on my card. I'm not going to mess with that for y'all so that they're easy to use, but anyway, you can see that that would get a wrap exactly the shape of my nail, and that is how I always have them so fitted looking to my own cuticles. So then whenever you get ready to size your next mani, you're going to use these, peel one off, grab your sheet, and I actually like to line them up on the back. It just makes it easier for me to size and see which one I need. That one right there, it's going to need minimal trimming, but a little bit to be just right for my nail. If I didn't do this, I would either downsize my wrap just to ensure that I don't have any overhang, because that's going to cause early lifting, or I would just do it because I just like to have them fitting right. So anyway, that is my tape templates, and if you have any questions, of course, let me know. One more very important note to add. When you're actually trimming the wrap that you've sized, you'll want to be sure to have that template lined up on the right side. I only hold it on the back side to make the visual easier for busier designs or things whenever I'm sizing. But for your actual trimming, be sure to have that wrap on the correct side. Trim around and it will be good to go.